I've been through a lot of scary things in my life. You know, I've been held at gunpoint. I've almost been arrested. I've even almost drowned on like 4 different occasions, but none of those compared to the scariest moment of my life, which just happened and which was supposed to be a happy moment until it wasn't. That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. It's going to explain my 2-month absence from uploading, and I do have one other thing that I want to talk about at the end of the video, so just stick around for that. A few months ago, I made a video where I explained that my wife and I were expecting our first baby, which you may be able to hear her crying in the background. We have her. Her name is Aaliyah. She was born on July 29th. She's beautiful, she's chunky, she's healthy. But that wasn't always the case. Almost immediately after being born, our baby was diagnosed with a congenital heart defect known as transposition of the great arteries, or TGA for short. To keep things simple, essentially what TGA is, it's when a baby is born with the 2 major arteries of the heart, the aorta and the pulmonary artery. They're transposed, they're switched, and this means that the body can't get enough oxygen, you know, as much as it needs, which is very life-threatening. Now, our local hospital wasn't equipped to deal with something like this. We don't even have a pediatric unit. There's much less a surgery team that can, you know, treat something like this. Because of that, Aaliyah had to be transferred via emergency helicopter to Sacred Heart Children's Hospital in Spokane, Washington, which is like 3 hours away from where we live. Babies born with TGA, their life expectancy is at the very most like a month, you know, so there was really no other option when it came to what we were going to do with her. She needed surgery, and it was going to happen. There was no other choice. In fact, based on the notes that we've read about like her transfer to the hospital, if she, you know, hadn't gotten there, like I doubt she would have even made it a month. Her oxygen levels were so low that, you know, during the transfer from our hospital to the hospital in Spokane, it's like a 30-minute helicopter ride, and we found out later on that she had to be intubated. They had to put a tube into her throat to help her breathe on the roof of the hospital when she arrived. The surgery itself is pretty intensive too. There's only one way to correct transposition of the great arteries, and that's through open heart surgery. So essentially what doctors have to do, what the surgeons have to do, is open up the chest, cut off the 2 major arteries of the heart, and reattach them how they're supposed to go. They had to perform this procedure on a heart no bigger than 2 inches across when Aaliyah was only 9 days old. You know, I don't think I have to explain how much of an emotional toll this has had on my wife and I, you know, on our families as a whole. It's, you know, we've gone through a range of heartbreak, fear, relief. I'm not afraid to admit that I've cried more during this time than ever, and on the day that we were finally discharged, I cried probably more than I've ever cried any day. Honestly, we've been home for a few weeks, and like looking back at it now, it almost feels surreal, like some horrible nightmare. We ended up spending 3 weeks in Spokane. You know, we were like prepping for the surgery while they were planning for it, performing the actual surgery itself, which ended up being like a 7-hour procedure, but we didn't get to see our baby for 9 hours that day. And then, of course, like the recovery afterwards before they finally let us bring her home. Honestly, though, like aside from all the fear, I'm eternally grateful, and I feel so blessed that we were able to spend that time at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital, because I feel like there's no other place that would have been better for what the baby needed. And the staff, you know, the doctors, the nurses, everybody there was just so compassionate, so caring, so supportive, so knowledgeable. Like they know how to guide you through those situations. It's amazing what they do there. And in fact, we're even more blessed because during our entire stay in Spokane, the 3 weeks, we ended up being housed at one of those the Ronald McDonald House Charities, which is essentially like a charity house run through the McDonald's Corporation that helps families in need, oftentimes medical situations, but really all sorts of stuff. When we were there was probably like 20 other families in that little hotel with us, and yeah, I don't know. You know, what these 2 places do is so incredible. I feel like I don't even have the right words to express how grateful I am, how blessed I feel that these places were available to help us. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to leave donation links in the description and in the comments for both of these. If you'd like to, you know, give a couple of dollars here and there, don't feel obligated to, don't feel pressured. But if you can, just know that you can help out thousands of families every single year. That pretty much sums up why I've been away for so long. I haven't uploaded because we spent weeks in Spokane, 3 weeks, and then when I got home, all I wanted to do was just focus on my family and decompress from all that stress, all that fear, and that was a few more weeks there. And you know, I just wanted to spend time with my daughter and bond with her and bond with my wife after everything that we'd been through. And I didn't want any distractions from anything really. I didn't feel like working on YouTube. I wasn't working, so I was just focusing on them really. But you know, when you go through something like this, whether it's yourself in a medical situation or, you know, in our case, the fear of losing our innocent little baby girl, it kind of forces you just to reevaluate your life. You know, I've been reflecting a lot on my, you know, like what really matters to me, what I want to spend my time doing, what's worth pouring my energy into. Of course, family is a big one, but what else? You know, like I'm reassessing my personal and my professional life. Like, what do I really want to do? And all that reassessment and reevaluating of things includes this YouTube channel. So if I'm being honest, you know, I've been working on this channel for the better part of 2 years now, and frankly, I've gained little to no traction at all, you know, and that's okay. I expected that, you know, this stuff is hard. It's not just going to happen. It happens for some people, but the vast majority of people that upload on YouTube end up going nowhere. And that's okay, because part of it is also to have fun, to express yourself, you know, to find an outlet for your thoughts or your creativity. But that's where the problem is for me, because while in the last few months, you know, some of the content that I was putting out, I genuinely enjoyed making. I had a lot of fun doing it. I was super interested in it. A lot of it also felt forced. Like I was uploading just to upload because I had a schedule to keep. I was uploading every single week, and that's what needed to happen, regardless of how exciting or how fun the video felt. Truthfully, my current format is just starting to feel flat. It's monotonous. It's not fulfilling, you know, like and it sucks too, because I have like weeks worth of scripts ready to go, like probably like 7 or 8, just sitting there ready to go, ready to be made. But I don't feel excited about it. There's like 1 or 2 admittedly, but for the most part, I'm like, I don't know, you know, this sort of like talking head speaking to the camera. It doesn't ever really feel totally natural to me, even after like 2 years of doing it. You know, talking like this is a little better. I think it feels more like myself. It's not, you know, scripted per se. It's not totally like to the line. I don't know. All I do know is that I'm considering making changes, and I don't know what that's going to look like going forward. Uploads may become more infrequent as I figure it out. You know, I'm just not sure what direction it's going to take. I'm open to experimenting, you know, with different approaches. What would you like to see? That's my question. You know, if you have any ideas, if you have anything you'd like me to talk about, leave it in the comments below. I would love to see what you guys have to offer. Give me some advice. What I do know is that I would like to keep posting. You know, I've really grown to enjoy the YouTube process, and I've mentioned before that no matter what I do, I would like to post in some way or another. I would like to keep this channel going, but it may just look a little different, and I'm not sure what that different is, you know. I'm honestly super grateful for all of you that watch. I mean, I've got pretty close to 500 followers at this point, 500 subscribers. And, you know, I appreciate each and every single one of you for your patience and your support. And I hope that, you know, as the channel moves forward and as it evolves, that you'll continue offering the same level of support you have been giving me, or even more. You know, more would be good, actually. But I promise to keep you guys updated, you know, on the channel changes. I'll upload again sometime soon. I'm not totally sure when that will be. I would like for it to be next week so I can get back into the rhythm. But like I said, you know, I'm trying to figure out what this is going to look like, and how I'm going to make that work with time, because I'm a lot busier now with the baby. So, you know, this period was supposed to kind of serve that for me, but with everything that happened, things kind of went out the window. So I'm kind of rolling with the punches right now. But yeah, you know, again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing to the channel, and with that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.